What if I told you that the meal most people consider the foundation of a healthy day is actually the single biggest reason they can't lose weight? Not their lunch, not their late-night snacking, not their lack of exercise. Breakfast. The first thing you put into your body every morning is either quietly working for you or silently destroying you, and most people have no idea which one it is. They wake up, make what they think is a healthy choice, and spend the rest of the day wondering why they're tired, hungry, and stuck. This isn't a mystery. This is biology. And once you understand what's actually happening inside your body the moment food hits your stomach in the morning, you will never look at breakfast the same way again. Here's what nobody tells you. Your body isn't just processing food when you eat breakfast. It's receiving a hormonal instruction manual. Every single thing you eat in the morning sends a specific signal to your cells, your glands, and your organs. That signal either says, burn fat today, or it says, store everything that comes in. And the terrifying part is that once you send the wrong signal at breakfast, your body can stay locked in storage mode for the rest of the day. You're not just making a bad food choice, you're essentially programming your metabolism for the next 12 hours. That's not an exaggeration, that's endocrinology. That's the science of how your hormones control everything happening inside you, and it all starts the moment you take your first bite. The hormone at the center of all of this is insulin. You've probably heard of it, but most people only associate it with diabetes. Here's the truth. Insulin is the most powerful fat-regulating hormone in your entire body, and every person alive, diabetic or not, needs to understand how it works. When you eat carbohydrates or sugar, your blood sugar rises, and your pancreas releases insulin to bring it back down. Insulin's job is to take that sugar out of your blood and deliver it to your cells. Sounds helpful, right? Here's the problem. When insulin is elevated, fat burning shuts down completely, not slows down, shuts down. Your body cannot burn stored fat while insulin is high. It's physiologically impossible. So if your breakfast spikes insulin, you've just locked yourself out of fat-burning mode before the day has even started. Now, flip that around. When insulin is low, your body looks for another fuel source, and the source it turns to is stored body fat. This is where a hormone called glucagon comes in. Glucagon is essentially insulin's polar opposite. Where insulin tells your body to store energy, glucagon tells your body to release stored fat and burn it. The goal of a smart breakfast is simple. Keep insulin low and glucagon high. That's it. That's the entire equation. Everything else, the calories, the portion sizes, the macros, those things matter, but none of them matter as much as this fundamental hormonal balance you establish first thing in the morning. Get this right and the rest of your day changes. Get it wrong and no amount of willpower will save you from the cravings, the crashes, and the fat storage that follows. Let's talk about the breakfasts that actually work, starting with what might be the simplest and most effective option available, a high-protein shake. Not the brightly colored, candy-flavored powders lined up at supplement stores. I'm talking about a clean, quality protein source, 30 to 40 grams of protein, no added sugar, and ideally combined with a healthy fat like MCT oil or grass-fed butter. When you consume protein first thing in the morning, your body does something remarkable. It triggers a glucagon response almost immediately. Your fat cells receive the signal to start releasing energy. Your metabolism wakes up and goes to work. And here's something most people have never heard of: the thermic effect of food. Protein is the only macronutrient that costs your body a significant number of calories just to digest it. Your metabolism burns 25 to 30% of a protein meal's calories simply processing it. That means before the protein even does anything else, your body is already burning more energy than it would from carbohydrates or fat. You're burning calories while digesting breakfast. That's not a trick, that's biochemistry. Beyond the calorie burn, protein also triggers the release of two incredibly powerful satiety hormones, peptide YY and GLP-1. These hormones travel to your brain and essentially turn off the hunger signal for hours. You know that desperate, gnawing hunger that hits at 10 in the morning and makes you reach for whatever's closest? That doesn't happen when you start your day with serious protein. Your blood sugar stays stable, your insulin stays low, your energy stays consistent. And when you add MCT oil or a quality fat to the mix, you push things even further. Those specific fats convert rapidly into ketones, a clean-burning fuel your brain absolutely thrives on. No mid-morning fog, no crashing, just clear, steady energy that lasts until lunch without you even thinking about food. The second breakfast that turns your body into a fat-burning machine is something most people already have in their kitchen but probably aren't using strategically enough: whole eggs with vegetables and avocado. This combination is so perfectly aligned with your body's hormonal needs that it almost seems designed for it. Eggs are the gold standard of protein quality. They contain all 9 essential amino acids. They're loaded with choline, which directly supports liver function and fat metabolism. And the yolk, which people have been wrongly afraid of for decades, contains fat-soluble vitamins that are critical for your thyroid health. Your thyroid is the gland that sets your metabolic rate. It determines how fast or slow your body burns calories all day long. When you nourish it with the nutrients it needs every morning, you're essentially turning up the thermostat on your entire metabolism.
Food leaves your stomach. That means longer fullness, slower sugar release, and a blood sugar curve that stays flat instead of spiking. And the avocado? It provides monounsaturated fats that increase a hormone called adiponectin, which directly instructs your body to burn fat for fuel rather than store it. Studies comparing egg breakfasts to carbohydrate-matched breakfasts have shown that people eating eggs lose significantly more weight over time, not because of magic, but because of this precise hormonal environment they're creating every single morning. The third powerful breakfast option is full-fat, unsweetened Greek yogurt with nuts and berries. And I want to be very specific here because the version of this that most people eat is actually a sugar bomb in disguise. If there is any added sugar or flavoring in the yogurt, it doesn't count. You want the plain, thick, full-fat version. 1 cup delivers roughly 20 grams of protein, which immediately starts working on that glucagon response. The fat content keeps your insulin stable and your satiety hormones active. The live probiotic cultures in Greek yogurt support your gut microbiome, and this matters more than most people realize because your gut is actually a hormone-producing organ. The bacteria living in your digestive system play a direct role in regulating hunger, fat storage, and appetite. Feed them well, and they work for you. Neglect them, and they contribute to cravings and metabolic dysfunction. Add a handful of walnuts or almonds for healthy fat and a serving of blueberries, and you've just activated something called AMPK, an enzyme inside your cells that functions like a metabolic switch, signaling your body to start breaking down fat for energy. This breakfast is working on 3 separate hormonal levers simultaneously, and every single one of them is pushing in the right direction. The fourth breakfast is one most people would never think of as a morning meal: smoked salmon with cream cheese on flaxseed crackers. This combination is an anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Salmon is one of the richest sources of EPA and DHA, the long-chain omega-3 fatty acids that do something crucial that almost no one talks about at breakfast. They fight chronic inflammation. Now here's why that matters for fat loss specifically. There's a hormone called leptin, and its entire job is to tell your brain that you're full and satisfied. Leptin is produced by your fat cells, and in theory, the more body fat you have, the more leptin you produce, and the less hungry you should feel. But here's the cruel irony that explains why so many people feel hungry even when they're overeating. Chronic inflammation blocks leptin signaling. The signal is being sent, but the brain can't receive it. So you keep eating past the point where your body actually needs food, and you have no idea why. By starting your day with omega-3 rich salmon, you're directly reducing that inflammation, restoring leptin sensitivity, and allowing your brain to actually hear the fullness signal your body is sending. The cream cheese adds fat and a small amount of additional protein. The flaxseed crackers contribute fiber and lignans, which support hormonal balance. This is breakfast functioning as medicine. The fifth option is the most controversial and also, for many people, the most powerful: extended fasting with black coffee. Before you click away, hear me out, because this isn't about suffering through hunger. It's about understanding what happens to your hormones when you simply don't eat after waking up. During sleep, your body naturally fasts, and in the later hours of that fast, insulin drops to its absolute baseline. Your body shifts toward burning fat because there's no incoming food source to use for energy. When your alarm goes off, you're already in a mild fat-burning state. Eating the wrong breakfast immediately destroys that state. But if you extend it, if you drink black coffee and hold off on eating for another 4 to 6 hours, something extraordinary happens. The caffeine in black coffee triggers adrenaline release, and adrenaline directly breaks down fat cells, releasing their stored energy into the bloodstream to be burned. Research has shown that combining fasting with caffeine can increase fat oxidation by 25% or more. You're not skipping breakfast out of deprivation, you're strategically extending the fat-burning window your body naturally enters every night. This is metabolic precision, and it works. Now let's talk about the breakfasts that are destroying people's metabolisms every single morning and doing it while wearing the disguise of health food. The first one is the fruit smoothie. This is perhaps the most misleading product in the entire wellness industry. People blend up bananas, mangoes, pineapple, dates, and orange juice, add a handful of spinach so they feel virtuous, and they genuinely believe they're doing something great for their body. But here's what's actually happening. A typical fruit smoothie contains 40 to 60 grams of sugar. Yes, it's natural sugar from fruit, but when you blend fruit, you destroy the fiber matrix that would normally slow down sugar absorption. Without that fiber acting as a brake, the sugar hits your bloodstream extremely rapidly. Your pancreas sees this surge of blood sugar and responds with a massive insulin release. Fat burning stops instantly. The incoming sugar gets pushed into storage. And then, because insulin works too aggressively, your blood sugar crashes an hour later, leaving you shaky, foggy, and desperately hungry again by mid-morning. Research has also shown something even more disturbing. Because liquid calories don't activate the same satiety signals as solid food, people who drink their breakfast consume significantly more calories throughout the day compared to those who eat solid meals. You drank 500 calories and still feel hungry. That's not a willpower problem. That's a biological response to liquid sugar, and no amount of spinach makes it healthy. The second breakfast destroyer is the one that has been championed by the health and wellness world for generations: the oatmeal. Specifically, the version millions of people eat every morning: oats cooked with milk, topped with brown sugar, raisins, dried fruit, and maybe a drizzle of honey. Plain oats are starch, and starch breaks down into glucose in your body. Before it even hits your bloodstream, your digestive system is already converting it to sugar. Now pile on the brown sugar and dried fruit, and you've created a breakfast with 50 to 70 grams of fast-digesting carbohydrates and almost no meaningful protein. Your insulin response is enormous. Your blood sugar spikes hard and then crashes. And research has consistently shown that high-carbohydrate breakfasts increase hunger hormones like ghrelin for the entire rest of the day, not just for an hour, but for hours after the meal. You eat more at lunch, you snack more in the afternoon, you crave sugar all day, and you blame your willpower instead of the hormonal chain reaction that started with that bowl of oatmeal. The breakfast that's supposed to be the safe, responsible, heart-healthy choice is quietly working against you from the moment you eat it. The third and final breakfast destroyer is the combination that has been the symbol of American mornings for decades, the bagel with cream cheese and a glass of orange juice. This might be the single most metabolically destructive breakfast a person can eat, and it's served in offices, homes, and hotel lobbies every day as if it's completely fine. A single large bagel contains 50 to 60 grams of refined carbohydrates. That's the glycemic equivalent of roughly 12 teaspoons of sugar hitting your system before you've been up for an hour. Your blood sugar rockets upward, your pancreas goes into overdrive releasing insulin, and then you wash it all down with orange juice, another 25 grams of liquid fructose that goes straight to your liver. When fructose overwhelms the liver's processing capacity, and it does so quickly, the excess gets converted directly into visceral fat, the dangerous fat that accumulates around your organs and drives inflammation, metabolic dysfunction, and disease. This breakfast delivers 75 to 85 grams of carbohydrates with minimal protein and almost no fiber. Your insulin stays elevated for hours. You never enter fat-burning mode.
Here is the simple,
you wonder why you're
undeniable
starving by
truth
11
that ties
despite eating
all
a
of
large
this together.
breakfast. This
Your
is why people can
metabolism
eat carefully,
is not
count
broken.
their calories, and
Your
still
breakfast
struggle to
is
lose
broken.
a pound. It's
The
not about
story
how
that
much you ate.
dietary
It's
fat
about
makes
what
you
those
fat
calories
has been one of the
instructed your
most
hormones
damaging
to do.
nutritional myths of the last century, and it has driven people straight toward the carbohydrate-heavy breakfasts that spike insulin, kill fat burning, and keep people trapped in a cycle of hunger, cravings, and weight gain they can't escape. The real equation is this: carbohydrates spike insulin, insulin stores fat, and fat keeps insulin low. Low insulin allows your body to burn fat. That's not a diet philosophy, that's human physiology. The 5 breakfasts outlined here, the protein shake, the eggs with vegetables and avocado, the Greek yogurt with nuts and berries, the smoked salmon combination, and the strategic fasting protocol all share one thing in common. They keep insulin low, glucagon high, and your body in the fat-burning state you're trying so hard to reach. Pick one of them. Commit to it for just 7 days. Pay attention to how your energy feels by midday. Pay attention to how much less you think about food. Pay attention to how different your body feels when it's running on the right fuel from the very first moment of the day.